off a daily fantasy. His number too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit up by, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS Bachelor, good as it gets. Build a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS Sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS Bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am your host of DFS Bachelor, and we're going to go over our fantasy draft NBA picks for Monday, February 24th. As usual, our Fast 5, Core 5 here on Fantasy Draft that we think could be successful tonight. First things first, thank you for making me all a part of your day every day. I really do appreciate that. I hope you all had a great weekend. Big cheers to you all. Seriously, thank you for all your support. It's a Coffee Bailey's Monday morning. For damn sure. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the team. Be sure to hit subscribe down below, get access to all of our content, all of our NBA stuff, XFL, etc. I appreciate all of that. And also don't forget to comment with your fantasy draft username if you wish to be part of our giveaway on Friday. We give away some entries to the NBA contest on Friday. It's a lot of fun. Fantasy Draft, if you do not have an account, it's absolutely free to create one. Go to fantasydraft.com, enter promo code DFS Bachelor, and boom, then comment down below with your username. Like I said, we announced those winners on Friday. For those of you who are new, wondering what is Fantasy Draft is rake-free DFS. And what that means is that all of your entry fees go directly back into the prize pool, meaning when you do win, you win more and you have a higher chance at winning. It's a lot of fun. Be sure to check it out. I will also note that it is double the salary cap of DraftKings. So when you see this price, like Mike Conley, for example, at 10-2, it's early Monday. That's the equivalent of being 5,100 on DraftKings. Also a little bit different format. You pick 3 guards, any position, 3 forwards/centers, and 2 utilities. So you could technically play 5 point guards or 5 centers if you want to. A little bit different. It's a lot of fun. Be sure to check that out. So as usual, we do a quick core 5. And that is the 5 core that we like. You know, it's early in the morning. A lot can change. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Bachelor as news comes throughout the day. Look, we're after the All-Star break. This is going to be the crazy time. For the NBA. There's just going to be a lot of resting and tanking and stupid coaches starting Sekou Doumbouya instead of Christian Wood. Just window-licking nonsense that's going to happen for the rest of the year. It's going to be very frustrating, so it's really important to keep up with the news throughout the day if you intend on effectively playing NBA DFS for the rest of the season. So let's get right after it. Right here at the top, we've got Mike Conley. He's 10-2 on Fantasy Draft. In terms of Fantasy Draft scoring, Phoenix allows the second most fantasy draft points to opposing guards. When you look at point guards overall, they're 26th in the league against opposing point guards. He has a 50 and a 20, a 31 and a 24 in 3 of his last 4 against Phoenix. He's 5,300 on DraftKings, so you're getting him at a little bit of a discount. Again, a great matchup. He's rested, should be ready to rock and roll. He's been playing much better as of late, and his last game out played 34 minutes, put up a 32. We'll take that at 10-2. Sign me up for some Mike Conley. Next, right under that, I like Josh Richardson. 9-9 on Fantasy Draft. Atlanta is allowing the most fantasy points to opposing guards in terms of Fantasy Draft scoring. There's not going to be any Ben Simmons tonight for Philly, so it should increase the usage of Josh Richardson. His minutes are finally back up over 30. His last 2 games against Atlanta, in fact, his last 3, he's only got 1 game under 30. He's got a 47, a 38, and a 30. It's a paced-up game against an Atlanta team that's 27th overall against shooting guards. Again, allowing the most points to just guards in general on Fantasy Draft. You're getting him at 9,900. I think it's a fair price for him. That's under 5K on DraftKings. Sign me up for that. Next, in another game where they're going to be without their superstar, I like Kendrick Nunn for Miami. Jimmy Butler is not with the team, did not travel because of personal reasons. He's sitting here today at 11-3 on fantasy draft. So that's the equivalent of about 5,600, which is right what he's at today on DraftKings. In his last 3 games against Cleveland, a 46, a 23, and a 46. Cleveland's allowing the most points in the league, fantasy points in the league, to opposing point guards. In terms of guards overall, they're 22nd in the league in fantasy draft scoring. I like Kendrick Nunn, and it frees up some salary for my next 2 plays. Now, there is a couple of plays I really like tonight. Porzingis against Minnesota. They have absolutely no one who can defend. Giannis against Washington, of course. James Harden puts up huge games against the Knicks. But without Ben Simmons against an Atlanta team that struggles against centers, they're 25th in the league against opposing centers. Against forward/centers in fantasy draft scoring, they're 10th. But I like Joel Embiid. He's 17,800. So you're getting him for about, 8,900 on DraftKings today. He's 9,500 on DraftKings. His last 2 games against Atlanta, a 47 and a 67. Extra usage with no Ben Simmons in a matchup where they can't match up with him. I think Joel Embiid goes off again tonight. And finally, the best matchup on paper today, centers versus Brooklyn, centers versus Brooklyn, centers versus Brooklyn. Against forward/centers, Brooklyn is dead last in fantasy draft scoring, allowing the most fantasy draft points to opposing forward/centers. Against centers overall, they are 29th in the league, allowing the second most fantasy points to opposing centers. I like Nikolayevich. He's 17K on fantasy draft. That's the equivalent of 8,500 on DraftKings. Today on DraftKings, he is 9,100. If you look at his recent history against Brooklyn, in his last 5 games, only 1 game was under 50, and that game was a 48. So he is primed for a big night tonight. That's what she said. So if you go with that core 5 of Mike Conley, Josh Richardson, Kendrick Nunn, Joel Embiid, Nikolai Vucevic, that still gives you 11,266 per player. So you could certainly justify trying to get Giannis in your lineup tonight too. You could pay down elsewhere. You'd have 10-4-33, which is still plenty of salary. There's plenty of value that'll be available throughout the day. So I like that core quite a bit. Again, don't forget to comment with your fantasy draft username in the comment section below. Qualify for our drawing on Friday. If you don't have an account, go to FantasyDraft.com, enter promo code DFS Bachelor, create your account absolutely free. Comment with your username. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. By doing that, you also become part of our $25 PayPal giveaway. I'm announcing that winner in my next video coming up here shortly. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you all again. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. May the fantasy gods be with you all. Goodbye, everyone.